where I go to get this story.
In the red box?
Yes, red. Didn't you just establish?
Why do we only use a red box as a store?
It's magical.
What's in the box is the story.
This is a box. It's a red box. It looks kind of like a parable, but it's not really a parable. Can you sit back just a little bit so that Ella can see and Kiara can see? Perfect. All right, do we have everyone here? All 13 of us?
12. Oh.
Gotcha.
No, we got 12.
James, your name tag looks very nice.
It's wonderful.
That's great.
I wanted a heart on
That's all right. We'll take care of that later. Okay, James? Oh, give him a heart. Give him a heart. Let's do it. June is like, what in the world is going on in this place?
That's what we're all saying.
Is that what everyone's saying?
No, that's what
Okay, ready? Starting now. Let's be normal.
That's kind of fun.
Just staring at a box.
I'm staring at a red box.
magical.
And over there, we have our gold boxes, and those are parables. And before I tell the story, I'm going to be looking down on the story because I want everyone to be focusing on the story. And if you have a question or something you want to ask me,
You have to raise your hand.
well, actually, what I want you to do is just wait until we're done with the story and with the answering question part, okay? And then we'll have all the time we need to answer any questions. Is that okay with everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is like a parable, except that it's red. And like I just showed you, we changed our underlay to red because this is the only day in the whole year celebrated with the color of red. And what does red make you think of?
Oh!
What?
A bowl.
A heart, blood, red color.
I got one.
James.
Red reminds me of Mars.
Wait, what?
Mars. It does remind me of Mars, and Mars is super hot, right?
Yeah, because Mars is red.
Blood.
Blood is blue on the inside.
Jesus' blood. Does red make you think of something cold?
No.
No.
Yes.
No.
Makes me think of Captain America's shield buried in the ground and it's red. And it's cold.
Cold.
Uh-huh.
A red shield buried in the ground being cold. That's what it makes I think of. Well, it makes me think of fire and hot. And that's what Pentecost is about.
Like from a volcano?
Yeah, exactly. Is this going to bother you here? Okay. So let's look inside and see what we have for our story.
A sheet. A sheet.
It's
Red sheet. It's a blanket. No, we can use No, or it's a blanket that it's a red desert.
All right, Jeff, take care.
It makes me think of Mars.
Perfect. Come on in, Matt. Hey, can we make a little bit of room for Matt?
Here, you can sit next to me.
Matt, can you sit next to James?
Sure.
James is going to scoot over a little closer to June. Let's spread out just a little bit. Matt, I'm so glad you came at the perfect time. I'm going to start over.
Matt, there's a video camera right there.
Okay, ready?
It's illegal.
Can everybody, before we start, can we say hi to Matt?
Hi, Matt.
Hey, can we all say, look what Matt's wearing?
Yes, red, Captain America.
Red.
That we just discussed.
All right.
I
Okay.
watched the Iron Man.
There's 3 of us wearing our Pentecost shirts
That's what I
today,
watched.
huh?
Guess what? 4 of us.
That's a
I
Wolverine
watched
shirt.
Iron Man 1 and Iron Man 2.
if you want to.
And somebody else is going down.
Orange and blue equals boom.
And guess
Perfect.
what?
No matter how you can't go
And
wrong.
guess what? At
Can't
the
go
end,
wrong.
somebody else was going down and getting the other Iron Man suit, and they were going to try to stop the red Iron Man because he's not doing what he's supposed to do. He's doing bad stuff to our people. And they did, and at the very end they went in a ball of
There's a lot of that.
Okay, hold on.
It's church though.
Hold
That's
on.
what they
Wait,
did.
wait, before you say that, spoiler alert. Okay. Just say that.
Yeah, this is spoiler alert right there.
All right.
I'm pretty sure we all saw
It's-
that.
Then at the other end they
Hey, James.
Spoiler alert.
made
James,
it so
real
big.
quick, James, see how everybody is sitting quietly? I'm going to ask that you do the same thing, okay? Because everybody's getting ready for the story. And James, if it's too hard for you to be quiet in the circle, we'll let you listen to the story next to Alexis. And you'll still be able to hear it, but then we'll be able to hear it too, okay? Okay? Thank you. All right, ready? So this is a red box. So it's kind of like a parable, but it's not a parable because it's red. It's a lot of red. And like I said before, Pentecost is the only day of the whole year where we celebrate with the color red. And this story is yours. And you saw where I got it. So if you want to work with it, once you've heard the story, you are allowed to work with it. And I'll give you the opportunity to do that, okay? So once we are all ready to begin, I will begin. There once was a tower. And the tower was being built by the people of God. And everybody spoke the same language. So as the tower was built, the people all they were trying to get to heaven, to be closer to God. And everybody spoke the same language. They all understood each other. And as the tower grew taller, the people as the tower got taller, the people, they got proud of themselves. They thought, we can build. Some of them even thought they could build better than God. And as the tower got taller and taller, people, they forgot why they were building it. They were building it for God, but they forgot because they got all full of themselves. Until finally,
Crash.
the tower fell into pieces and shattered. And when it shattered, that one language that they all spoke shattered into different pieces. And each one of the pieces, the languages, each one was very beautiful. But everybody couldn't understand each other.
And they just put all back in the box. It's just
was called the Tower of Babel. And that's what everybody sounded like to each other. It sounded like a bunch of babble.
Why?
Is it okay if he sits with you? Can you still hear the story if he sits with you? Okay. You can say no. Okay. It was called the Tower of Babel, and to each other, that's what everybody sounded like, was a bunch of babble. This is Jerusalem. And in Jerusalem, there was a room, the upper room, and it was where Jesus had supper with the disciples. And here's the part of the story where I get a little messed up, but I do know that there were the disciples in the room. And I know one of their names was James, Bartholomew, Peter. But you always hear that there were 12 disciples, but in this room there were only 11 because Judas had already killed himself. So, one quick thing I forgot. Okay. So the tower fell, okay? The tower came crashing. Sorry guys, but I want to get this right, okay? The tower crashed down, and it was the Tower of Babel. Thousands of years later, Jesus died on the cross, but he was still with everyone that was around him, and they kept seeing him, and they couldn't let him go. But Jesus was still with them like he's still with us today. So Jesus had died, but he was somehow still with the disciples, and they couldn't let him go.